Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the factor affecting drug absorption. Before we have to start, which are the factors that affecting the drug absorptions? Initially we have to see which are the processing step or sequence of events, how the drugs absorb into the body by the administration of oral dose. So here the steps are there. First one, initially our solid dosage forms go for the disintegration process. Disintegration means the breakdown of solid dosage form into the small fragments or small particles, and that small particles or fine particles undergoes second step, that is dissolution. It means it goes into the solution form, into the biological fluid or dissolution media, and after the dissolutions at the absorption site they go for the permeations. It means they cross the barrier or cell membrane, they reach to the systemic circulation or blood. So here these are the sequence of steps for the absorption of drug. Next one, the factors affecting drug absorptions, they have to further classify into three parts: physicochemical factor, pharmaceutical factor, and patient related factor. The first one, physicochemical factor affecting drug absorption. In physicochemical factors affecting drug absorptions, these are the list of factors which we have to cover into that part. The first one, that is drug solubility and dissolution rate, particle size and surface area, polymorphism and amorphism, pseudopolymorphisms, hydrates or solvents we can call, solid form of drug, lipophilicity of drug, drug pK and pH, that 2 points, lipophilicity of drug and drug pK pH, also known as pH partition theory, and drug stability. So these are the factors under the physicochemical part. One by one we have to see the factor. The first one, that is drug solubility and dissolution rate. So for the absorption of drug, we have to see the criteria, that first they have to go for the disintegration, afterwards they have to go for the dissolutions. So for disintegration and dissolutions, drug have a sufficient aqueous solubility into that biological fluid or dissolution media, so it go for the disintegration, convert into small fragment, and that solubilize into that dissolution media, so go for the dissolution or soluble form, and then go for the absorption. So the rate determining step in the absorptions for orally administration, we can say that the dissolution and solubility are the major parameters. So first one in that rate determining step is rate of dissolution, and second one is the rate of drug permeation through the biomembranes. So dissolution is the rate determining step for hydrophobic, or we can call poorly aqueous or water soluble drug. So in that case, if drug is hydrophobic or poorly water insoluble drug, so the rate determining step we can call as a dissolution. So initially, if water solubility less, so they are no difficulty to go for the disintegrations or dissolutions. So that is our rate determining step. We can improve that point, so we can improve the dissolution or solubility part, and we can improve the rate of absorption. So for that example is glycofluin, spironolactones are there. If permeation is the rate determining step for hydrophilic and high aqueous water soluble drug, it means if drug is water soluble or hydrophilic in nature, so dissolutions are occurs. Drug easily go for the disintegration dissolution, but that time the rate determining step, that is permeation. So that time we have to improve the permeation part, so we can solve that absorption. So in that example is neomycin. So both the case, if water insoluble drug is there, so rate determining step becomes dissolution, and if hydrophilic water soluble drug is there, so rate determining step is permeation. So based on BCS classification, we can say that the drug is class 1, it means high permeable, high soluble, high permeable, low soluble, high solubility, low permeability, and both the case low soluble, low permeabilities are there. Second factor, that is particle size and effective surface area. So in that case, particle size and surface area are inversely related to each other. Means if reduce the particle size, smaller the particle size, increase the surface area, and greater the effective surface area, better the resolution, better the solubility, and also better the absorption. So we can reduce the particle size and we can improve our solubility, dissolution, and absorption part. We can go for the particle size reduction by the micronization technique, and this technique is used for the improvement of dissolution rate and the absorption part. Next one is polymorphism and amorphism. Okay. So the two parts are there. Amorphism means not having any internal structure, and in polymorph, in crystal form, there is three-dimensional structures are there. So depending upon the internal structures, we can classify polymorphism and amorphism. So if solid can exist either in crystalline or amorphous form. When a substance exists in more than one crystalline form, means three-dimensional structures are there and more than one crystal forms are there. So that different forms are we can call as a polymorph, and this process or phenomena known as a polymorphism. Amorphous form have a greater aqueous or water solubility as compared to crystalline form because they have the highest thermodynamic energy as compared to crystal form. In crystal form also two types are there, metastable and stable form. So metastable have a greater aqueous solubility as compared to stable form. So these are the order of dissolution. Amorphous have greater than metastable and then stable polymorph. Next one, that is hydrates and solvents. Okay, in that case, what the solvent molecules are entrapped into crystalline structure. So we have to entrap our solvent molecules into the crystalline form. That polymorph is known as a pseudo polymorph. And when the solvents that we have to use as a water, so that is called as a hydrate. Other than water, solvents are there, so it is called the solvents. So in that case also, anhydrous form has a greater aqueous solubility compared to hydrates, because in hydrates already water molecules are there, interact with water molecules, so they have a less tendency to go for the wettability. They have a less energy, thermodynamical energy as compared to anhydrous form. Next one, that is drug, pK, lipophilicity and GI-pH. Okay, so that is also referred or called as a pH partition theory. What is pH partition theory? This is a combination of the dissociation constant, lipid solubility and drug pH at the absorption site. So the process of absorption is governed by these three parameters. How the drug go for the absorption. So they depend on the dissociation constant, also called as ionization constant or pK. So that is depend on the pH at the absorption site. Second one, that is lipophilicity or lipid solubility of drug. That determined by the partition coefficient, the log p value, and the pH at the absorption site. So first, in that lipid solubility of drug. So for the absorption of drug, these parameters highly require the more lipid soluble or high lipid soluble, better the absorptions are there. So more the drug in unionized form, more it is lipid soluble, so it go for the better absorption by passive diffusion. And that we can find out lipid solubility by partition coefficient, the log p value. More than 3 log p value we can call as a higher lipid soluble, and that easily go for better absorption. Drug pK, dissociation constant or ionization constant, that depend on the pH. Change in the pH, the dissociation or ionization constants dependent. So amount of drug that exists in unionized form and in ionized form is a function of pK of a drug and the pH of that biological fluid at the absorption site. So if drug particular pH that go for the ionization, that depend on that pH, and for the absorption of drug we require the unionized form, because unionized drug easily cross the cell membrane by passive diffusion, and it can be determined by the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Next one, that is solid form of drug. So it is one of the method for improvement of solubility dissolution of poorly water soluble drug. So mostly drug are in weak acid and weak base form. So conversion of weak acid or weak base into its salt form means weak acid drugs are there that complex with strong base like sodium, potassium, like that salt we can use and we can improve. Weak basic drug with strong acid salt like hydrochlorides. So that salt form enhance the solubility or dissolution rate of the drug, and ultimately that affect into the rate of absorption part. Next one, that is viscosity. So viscosity also minorly affect into that absorption part. So viscosity and drug dissolution says inversely relationship. We increase the viscosity, dissolution rate going for the decreasing part. So change in the viscosity may affect the drug absorption by the mechanism like modifying the gastric empty rate. If we highly viscous content food we can take, so it delay the gastric empty time on rate, modification in intestinal transition time rates, and change in the rate of drug molecules from the lumen to the absorbing membrane. And the last one, that is drug stability. So drug stability, how can affect into the absorption? So the drug for oral use may destabilize either by its shelf life or in the GI tract. So two major stability problems resulting in poor viability or poor absorption profile after the absorptions of orally administered. So in that case, the possibility is so degradation of drug into inactive form. Okay, we can take the drug, then enzymatic degradations are there and that convert into their inactive form. So that also alter the absorption part. Then the interactions with one or more different component, either dosage form related, we can say that, or those present in GI form to form a complex that is poorly soluble, or we can convert into the unabsorbable part. So also that affect into the absorption profile. So these are the physicochemical factors that we have to see that how affect into the absorption profile. Thank you.